What's up? BigHerc916. Positivity, motivation, never settle for average. You know how we do it over here. I talk about California quite a bit just because I grew up there, seeing its demise, still have love for certain areas because of the memories and the people I've met there, but just the way it's being ran, horrible. And there's a bigger plan at play. Now, you guys are all, I'm sure, familiar or have heard about the Pasadena fires, the Palisades fires. And if you go through there right now, there are still people who haven't had the debris moved from their property and have not been able to rebuild. And there's been some weird stuff that's come out about the fires, and this investigative journalist made some interesting discoveries. Check it out.
There is something very large at play in the Palisades fire. There was a couple from Portland, Oregon, and they drove into the Palisades fire scene in a decommissioned fire truck. They had emblazoned this fire truck with the name Rolling River Fire Department.
Were they there like from minute one?
All I know is that they got into the scene 2 days in a row before they were stopped and arrested.
Whoa!
I don't know if they burnt it down. We do know that they were acting suspiciously in the fire zone on a fake fire truck. Turns out the woman is a National Weather Service wind and fire expert who teaches juvenile delinquents climate change issues. They make rap songs called weather slaps. And some of the lyrics go like, wait until you see it all burn. And her husband, the guy behind the wheel, is a convicted arsonist who burned down country clubs and rich people's houses in a small town in Oregon.
Holy shit.
They were eco-terrorists. So I am convinced that this is an act of eco-terrorism.
So you put that together with the fact that if you want to create the perfect condition to burn down an area you want to take, and it doesn't matter, rich person, poor person, black person, white person, Chinese person, it doesn't matter, man. You got to get out of that. They're trying to divide you guys. They're trying to divide us, and it's not about that. It's about those who think they run shit and the fact that they don't give a damn. They don't care about the people. And this is an obvious play on taking land from people through a way that looks like it's natural causes, but really a reservoir with no water down for repairs. Half the fire trucks weren't working. You had no water and you're on the water. You don't have access to pump emergency water in situations where there could be possibly fires. No cutback of vegetation. It's just wild. And then you look at the bill they just passed for Section 8 housing, low income housing. And people think, wow, they're helping out the poor people. California really cares. They're all, no, man, they want to be able to control the people who are in the area. If you got your own thing going on, you got a family legacy home, you've been passing down, you got independence, you maybe speak out a little bit about the government and the policies in the state. They want to get rid of you. They want to put people in there that if they say anything, they try to buck, they'll shut them down. It's not about caring about the poor. You think these people care about the poor? They enable these people to continue to be dependent on them because it gives them control. So, you look at the bill that's recently passed, right, for affordable housing. And if you look at this bill was introduced before the Palisades fires ever came about. Wow. So they had a feeling that there could be, maybe an incident. So when you think about that, right? And the fact that all that land burned down, and then the governor's all excited about this new smart city that they're working on. There's plans to use that property for redevelopment, and now and then you have on top of that now homeless going up there staking claim, and you have to go through the eviction process to get them off your property.
Here is the latest insanity over here in the LA fire zones. Squatters are overtaking vacant lots that burn down, like this one right behind me here. This guy set up a whole campsite and I guess actually went down to the DMV, listed this as his address on his driver's license, and the property owner can't get them off. The police even showed up and they said, we can't do anything about it. It's got to go to the courts. Here's another one right behind me. This is two right across the street from each other. Squatters who have overtaken these properties and the homeowners cannot get them off of the site. So if you're in Pacific Palisades or Altadena, I'd get some security fencing up right away, or you might lose your property to a vagrant and the county isn't going to do anything to help you.
You think that's all coincidence? Come on, man. I don't know, when Californians are going to actually step up and get these people up out of there. The mayor's horrible. They keep spending, we're going to get the illegals money now because they need it because they're getting deported. The illegal, if you don't have your shit together, then what are you giving them? Are you giving the veterans anything? Are you helping out the people in California who can't get medical, but you're giving it to people who have no citizenship? Come on, man. This shit is ass backwards. And then I just saw this with Grant Cardone talking about there's, talks of eminent domain. They're going to do the same thing they did when they took the land called Sugar Hill by the airport where there was a thriving black community. They don't care of your skin color, man. These people just want power. And it's going to be the super rich, and it's going to be everybody else out there.
The last house standing on Malibu Beach. It was singed by the fires. It was not leveled. Very fortunate for you, obviously. But you're hearing rumblings now. Those beaches in Malibu, including your house potentially, may be taken by the government under eminent domain. And it's just rumblings and rumors and so forth. But that's very concerning. What are you hearing?
I got a phone call yesterday from a guy that sells trillions with a T of insurance premiums per year worldwide. He's actually covering my home, okay, and along with a 15,000 unit portfolio that we cover with him. And he says, Grant, are you hearing anything about eminent domain on the coastline? And I said, no, I haven't heard that yet. What are you talking about? And he's like, we're hearing the first rumblings from property owners that are trying to get covered, that nobody can understand. Why is nothing being done? Why is the beach not being picked up? Why haven't the bore samplings and environmental stuff been done? Why are only 4 permits been approved in 4 months? And those 4 permits, by the way, Steve, were done before the fires. So they were already in place. And the talk is now that the state of California is planning to seize the coastline.
I have nothing against a person wanting to better their lives, but when you see how, at the end of the day, the person who thinks they got it all made, what happened when they get knocked down? Who's gonna, they were high on a high horse. You got to think like, hey, man, you might want to start aligning yourself with some people who maybe have a little bit more skin in the game. And I think a lot of people, for the most part, because they're in a bubble out there, and it's easy to be in a bubble in California. If you live in places that are so plush, by the beach, and you don't have to deal with the bullshit. If you're in like a bubble like Carmel or Monterey, or, you're by Malibu or Hermosa, you don't think about what's going on in the rest of the state or the rest of the city or the county, because you're balling. You don't leave your community. But when shit like this happens, if it can happen to them, who else can it happen to? I'm just saying, it's, I'm in Arizona now. God bless. I'm in a great neighborhood, great community. People are nice, clean. Um, I couldn't stand to see what was going on and just the psychology. I just left, man. I got up out of there. I go back to visit, but that's the extent of it. I'm quite satisfied where I live at, and I know there's shit everywhere. Arizona's not perfect, but for me, it's a peace of mind, and it's a place where I can enjoy my family and friends. But like I said, I speak on California because I grew up there, lived all over Northern and Southern California. I think there are some great things about California, but the cost of living, the way the politicians have ran it into the dirt, the policies they're passing, the stuff they're doing in the schools, the mentality there. I mean, you're paying what $3,000-4,000 for 800 square feet, and in that place you're still getting robbed, and you got secured parking. I know people who live like that. There's no security. You can't protect yourself. Criminals have all the rights. I mean, dude, how do you win? You get robbed. I mean, they show up. I mean, what can they do? It's they're not investigating. Nobody's going to jail. They got crews out there just knocking people down. And they said that they got guys now where they just park cars down the street and put cameras in them, and they monitor your patterns so that they can catch you, figure, hey, okay, you're going to be gone this amount of time. And they just double back, and they're robbing people in Mercedes. They got, Alfa Romeos. They're robbing people in luxury cars. These guys, they're not, this is organized shit, man. In California, so you got organized crime within the government. You got organized crime within the street. And then you got land grabs. And like I said, this is nothing new for the politicians there. They did it years ago when they wanted to, build LAX, and they did it when they wanted to take land in Manhattan Beach from people who lived there. There were a thriving black communities there, and they said they needed the property for this. They've done it, but now they're just doing it to people that don't appear to be black, just a regular person. So do your research, man. You got these politicians in there. You guys let them keep doing what they're doing. They had, the fundraiser for the fires, $100 million supposedly raised. Where'd that money go? Somebody's charity. Somebody kept like 90% of that. I don't see it helping the people who had their houses burned down. Do you? I mean, do the research. How many permits have been issued in the Palisades fires, in the Malibu fires, in the Altadena fires? How many permits? And then you look at when they do start putting like low-income housing, you know what that does to the property values around there? I have nothing against people needing a little help, but you gotta work, you gotta do shit. You can't be on Section 8 for your whole life, forever. Pass it down to your kids. But what it does is, the reality, it lowers property value. It brings down the value, and then that person's house that was worth maybe 2.5, 1.8, instead of 2.5, maybe 1.8, instead of 1.8, maybe 900,000. It's crazy, but it is what it is. It's California. Nothing makes sense there. And you go there, you go to the beach, you get rocked to sleep. And in Southern California, you go to Northern California, watch yourself. Oakland, Frisco, you might get robbed, might get shot, somebody take your watch, take your iPhone. It's a dangerous place. There are some places where it's like more, protective if you're in certain parts, but hey, watch yourself, man. And to those in California, man, you guys got to make some choices. Like I said, I go back, and that just kind of blows me away, man. Once you get away and come back, if you never leave, you don't understand, but you leave and come back and you see like, wow, there are some other places out there that offer opportunities and different things, man. And it's a different state, but hey, it is what it is. I just thought I'd share that with you guys. You guys connect the dots. Let me know what you guys think about the conspiracy stuff, and to those who are keeping up with any of this. Let me know what you guys think about California in general. BigHerc916, subscribe. 916 store and pick you up a sticker for your car, or a patch, or a sticker for your laptop, or maybe a beanie, or read one of the many books that BigHerc916 has authored. You know how we do it. Officially, I only got one real spanking my entire life. My mom did the best a 14-year-old could do, raising me with love and instilling values that will last a lifetime. I was a straight-A student and lived to make her happy. So how did I go astray? A horrible stepdad that stole my self-worth and invoked fear turned me into a person that I struggled to overcome. From skateboarding to selling drugs, gang banging in juvenile hall, I got caught the same way many young promising men get caught up. I struggled to find my identity, getting mixed up in shootouts, crime, and the adult entertainment industry. This roller coaster continued as I juggled college, hustling, and Hollywood, eventually catching a federal bank robbery case. I found redemption in prison while serving a 120-month federal sentence and came out a man on a mission. I became a social media influencer with over 500 million views on YouTube and a life coach mentoring people all over the world. This is my journey against all odds.